Hi guys, how we doing? So we are down to the final bit of shading. All of our colors have dried up now and we're ready for that last bit. We're going to be doing one of my absolute favorite ways of going about shading because it's just ridiculous and it shouldn't work, but it does. So what this is, it's a really watered down paint. And then we just take like this, paint a section on, and then you just take it right back off. And usually, I think I might have that one a little too thin. It just leaves the barest hint of that color so that you get a natural shading that doesn't look completely and totally painted on. It's been one of my favorites since I actually did it by accident a few years ago. I dipped a wet brush in a color and went to wipe it off and found out that the result was actually exactly what I was hoping to accomplish to begin with. So we just want him to become just not quite so pure bright blue, a little bit more of a, you know, frog. They tend to be a little dirtier, a little more natural. But we still want that beautiful blue to shine through. So I'm not sure if the color actually is showing through on the camera, but I'll zoom in a little bit here in just a second. I might have to get a new paper towel. I am definitely going to have green hands by the time this is done. But that's okay, the yellow wiped off, the green will too. But just for comparison's sake, let me zoom you in a bit so you can actually see. So there's with it done compared to not. So you can kind of see it just adds just that little sheen of color in there. Where without it, it's a very bright blue still. It definitely does make a difference. I don't know how much will show up on the video. If you go to my Facebook page, which is Jamie's Restorations, Repairs, Restorations, and Art, I have a whole photo documentary of the whole process, so you can kind of see what we've been doing. But that is just working perfectly. And if it's a little darker in some spots and a little lighter in others, that works too. I only had a couple of pictures to go by on this type of frog. Apparently they're not very common and kind of an anomaly. So I just kind of am working with the best I can. But they seem to have very shimmery, very different colors depending on the way the light hits them. And I am really hoping that it comes through. My cockatiel sweetie pie is singing his song very cutely in the background. A singing cockatiel is a happy cockatiel, so we always like to hear that sound. I don't know the actual name for this process, but I call it, because going over with a dry brush is dry brushing, I call it wet brush. Because it's literally just a lot of water, a little bit of paint, and a few minutes of wiping. And hopefully this next video will have his eyes done. It's gonna be a couple of days, which thankfully I have videos backed up to cover the time. I have a very crazy week coming up, so I may not be able to create anything new for a few days. But hopefully, if it comes out the right way, my few days for you guys will be maybe a day or two. Because since I have to work all of the end of this week, I'm doing my best to back up a few videos that I'll release over the next couple of days. He definitely looks like a different frog than the one we first saw, doesn't he? It's hard to tell he was in 3 pieces. I actually do want a little bit more shading around his eye. Which my next video, whenever that is, will be his eyes, and then if there's enough of you that really want to see him with the hat, then probably that same video will fit him with his hat. And just so that you can see with all of the coloring how that looks, I think it would be very cute. But, well, I'm the one with an extra hat sitting around, so let me know what you think in the comments. But I think for today, I think he is nicely shaded. He's ready to be given a pair of eyes and maybe a hat, and we'll call him finished. So until next time, I will talk to you guys later.